Dear viewers, thank you for your interest in our concept for repurposing coal power plants. I'm Miroslav, Deputy Managing Director of SolEngCo, and I am pleased to introduce to you in this part 2 the repurposing coal power plant sites, lignite coal mine, ash disposal sites, and other assets that can be reused for implementing PV and wind power facilities in order to reduce remediation and redevelopment costs, as well as to ensure that the owner's asset will remain in power generation sector. This presented repurposing is only one part of SolEngCo other concepts. The other part will be introduced in the next videos. Let's start. We, as an independent consultant, have to consider the owner's asset, the structure of the company, composition of stakeholders and their contributions, stakeholder preferences, site objectives, technical aspects, and market perspective. As you can see now, the asset may include the lignite coal mine or even several mines, other land around, rail trails, roads, and definitely it includes the power plant, ash pond, and landfilling. The longer the lignite mine is in operation, the larger is the land to be considered for the remediation and redevelopment. In the pre-transition period, renewable energy sources had achieved intense technological development in terms of unit size, efficiency, and price, in particular in the wind and solar segments. Solar and wind technologies, along with hydropower plants, are the foundations of the future of power generation in Europe, or, to be more specific, in countries they will replace fossil fuel power generation with renewables. Here we have an example of a lignite coal mine close to a power plant. One of the first steps in our concept is to assess the potential for installing solar parks in the mine or in its vicinity. Simultaneously, we are investigating the grid demand in order to orient the solar panels. I mean the demand in the morning, noon, and evening. Then we are planning the most technically and economically suitable layout for the solar field. In the picture you can see an apparently overestimated layout. However, this might be possible if a solid concept is prepared and a trustworthy grid demand outlook is available. And furthermore, that all combined can be addressed to an appropriate funding. In the next step, we are investigating the potential for an installation of a wind farm. This depends on suitable land availability, wind conditions, technical requirements, permits and licensing situations in specific location, as well as on the grid connections and other electrical matters. And not last but least, on the availability of financial sources. And finally, we have to consider in our concept also those facilities about which we have not talked yet, but which belongs to owner's asset. So in our aim is to prepare the concept in order to maximize the renewable power generation, which we achieve by designing solar panels on each building and land that is suitable for such installation. As you can see in these pictures, we are designing the solar panels on roofs of administration building, workhouse, workshops, control building, park facilities, and wherever this installation is economically and technically feasible. This introduced repurposing to coal power plants, coal sites, and others is a standard approach by utilities nowadays. However, the generated power from these renewables will not entirely replace the installed power at the existing facilities, and it does not solve the problem with the surplus energy from these resented renewables, as well as the problem with grid stabilization. SolEngCo, in its concept, has further technologies to be considered that will be presented in next presentations. Although these renewables are an essential part of our concept and can be considered in the project's development phase as a project on its own and can be financed from different sources, unlike the technologies which we will present in the next parts. This presented concept is a technically reasonable and financially affordable project for the repurposing coal mine, coal-fired power plants and their auxiliaries. Such concept avoids abandoned coal mines and coal power plants, and it is the easiest projects for the implementations in a short time perspective. If you are interested in SolEngCo unique concepts for the repurposing coal and gas power plants, you are welcome to watch our next presentations on this topic. If you are interested in our services, please contact us for initiating further steps. Thank you for watching.